upgrades, they truly win or lose games. You can completely upset an army composition and any sort of army advantage if you have superior upgrades, and so far none of the players have really gone for that. Grubby now taking the first step to an upgrade advantage. We'll see if the Muslim can keep up. Yes, now we see him going for infantry upgrade, weapons level 1. So the upgrade game starting late, but they seem intent on competing about it. Now we see further warp gates going up, and his Colossus gateway army will definitely be strong soon. But looking here, 151 supply for the Terran army, 130 for the Protoss. It's his focus, even going back with the entirety of his army, foregoing the map control that he had up until now, which is always a victory for Grubby. If he can make the Muslim go where he wants him to, that puts Grubby ahead in that aspect of the game for that moment. That enables him to move out now here in the turn for Colossus. A whole bunch of Stalkers, Zealots, and a couple of Sentries. And that is of course a very versatile unit. He needs those ghosts, and we'll see if he can make do without them. Seems like Grubby is intent on pushing on this expansion as he's taking his own on the opposite side of the map. And if he can take this down, well, things will get very interesting, because so far e.g. the Muslim has been quite ahead. He has been the aggressor and he has been the initiator, has been ahead in economy, and now it seems like he wants to stomp Grubby here in this corner of the map. Grubby could be captured. He can't go south. These force fields make a temporary wall, but what will he do here? If he fights, I'd say that he is outmanned and even outgunned. It seems like he's escaping northwards up to this 3 o'clock natural. Will he be able to escape? Yes, he has a proxy pylon here, I do believe. Yes, so he can warp in reinforced roaches. They can take so much damage, especially considering that they got a burrow upgrade and everything, so he needs those immortals to combat it. And now we see Ventral Sac as well as Pathogen Gland, so there will be drops coming onto Grubby, as well as Infestus with Fungal Growth, and a 5th base being taken up here. Grubby needs to make something happen, because he's about to be out-macroed and out-consumed by the swarm. Very even in harvesters, very even in income. Grubby is just slightly ahead. Looking at the army tab, we see 3 Zealots, 2 Immortals, and 22 Evil Stalkers with Blink, as well as 6 Sentries and an Observer at that. Weapons level 3 now on the way for Grubby, and he is using this proxy pylon to the utmost advantage. He wants to be aggressive, he wants to kill something, and he needs to right now. He's about to lose the game on the economy front, and that is of course a very real danger right now. But it seems like Dark Force, he is not willing to attack and commit to this attack, but now he is forced to. But Grubby is intent on taking down the hatchery in a beautiful blink away. He has now somewhat decreased the economic advantage, but losing so many forces, losing a Colossi, losing an Immortal, and many Stalkers. But again, that blink is saving so much of his army, and he is a true master of the surgical attack. He was known for his Blade Master usage in Warcraft 3, and indeed the Stalker is very akin to a Blade Master. And here we now see Grubby, again looking at the units tab, having 27 Stalkers, 2 Colossi, 1 Immortal, and no longer any Zealots. And this is still a very formidable force. Dark Force, sure, he is actually not even all ahead in economy. He lost so many probes in that exchange. Grubby, despite being behind in bases, is still ahead in this battle, and it's all come down to positioning now, ladies and gentlemen. And Grubby does indeed have the advantage. 1 force field going down, and the Corruptors arriving very late to the party, and there are so many Stalkers. They can take down the Corruptors, whereas these Colossi deal terrible damage using beautiful blink. And I do think that Grubby will take this battle. But the Corruptors have now eradicated all the Colossi, but it doesn't matter because there are so many Stalkers left standing, and this base has not been rebuilt, and it seems like Grubby might be able to contest one of these eastern expansions, now picking off the Overlord farm. And now we see Dark Force responding to this with going for Flyer Carapace. It seems like he'll be going Broodlords, because he needs to do something about these Stalkers. But now another force of Roaches, and indeed Broodlords coming ahead for Dark Force. And Grubby needs to get the hell out of here, because the Zerg can resupply so quickly from his base complex. But again, a beautiful use of Blink, allowing Grubby to just escape out of there, building more Immortals, more Stalkers, and now we see again that Grubby is contesting. This is the old Orc King at work. Let's see if he can make something happen here. It seems like the Muslim now will press the issue, and we'll be able to try to snipe Colossus. None going down quite yet, taking away the shields, and now more force fields, forcing the army to back off, whereas Grubby is taking down the medevacs, but it's losing Colossus every second. Dark Templars are being warped in, and if the Muslim doesn't have the wherewithal, he won't be able to stop them. One Colossus still standing, and I do believe that, yes, Grubby takes down all the Vikings, still have one Colossus left, and Dark Templars are crashing into these Marines, slicing and dicing them all the way to hell, and Zealots with leg speed finally getting in and connecting with these forces, and the Stalker army prevails. The Templars getting sniped. Maybe the Muslim can come back. If he can take down the Templars, he's in a very good position. These Marauders are so evil, but another Psystorm injuring all the Vikings even more. A few pot shots from the Stalkers and they're all dead, and just look at that. Claiming one instantly, and ooh, that's a beautiful EMP, and managed to blink away, but here come the Dark Templars. Let's see what happens. Psystorming all the way to hell again, and Stalkers clash again, and more Psystorms. This is what I'm talking about. TLO has had his high yield expansion up for quite a while, which puts him well ahead of Hasrobs in the economy game. We wonder, will he be building nukes? He is of course very prone to using nukes in a extrovert fashion, that it's always pleasing the fans, but he's also one of the large pioneers, the finest pioneers of using defensive nukes. Basically, rather than trying to obliterate an opponent's army, you use nukes to defend your own. You force the opponent to move out of position. One nuke is on the way, and we see that he's getting his infantry upgrades up to the very top, and I believe that Hasrobs is somewhat behind in upgrades. He's got 2 armor, but only now getting the attack upgrades, but he's got 4 Colossi and a huge Protoss Death Ball behind it. This is very fearsome for a Terran player, but he's got Ghosts and he's EMPing those Colossi, and if he can use a defensive nuke in a proper fashion, this could definitely, then here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hasrobs is now unable to move forward. TLO should cancel this nuke rather than losing it. They are quite expensive. He's already building a new one, and it seems like he will allow it to go off. Now, that I do question. Of course, it's always nice to see something blow up, but still, he would have been able to use it more properly at a later fashion when the battle had already been commenced. Now going ahead with getting siege tech and ship levels, so he'll be building Vikings to combat this rising Colossi count. 4 Colossi, 5 tops, that's all you need, otherwise your unit composition gets too lopsided. Now TLO is cancelling the fresh expansion of Hasrobs here, but the question is, will his forces be pinned in? This is a Protoss army that TLO cannot possibly fight. He should load up his army in his medevacs and get the hell out of there. Move, TLO! Looking at the units tab, we see that Hasrobs has got 6 Templars, that with Psystorms, 2 Archons, 15 Stalkers, and this is just bad news for TLO. 3 Colossi at that. Seems like he might be even able to save this Nexus. TLO, this is where the game will be concluded. Ladies and gentlemen, TLO is now desperately trying to cause as much damage as he possibly can. He's targeting the Colossi, but his Marauders gets cut into pieces. He's got Ghost, but now you see what Hasrobs with his superior economy is able to do, just warping in a whole new army of Zealots and Stalkers. It seems like our German Wonder Boy might be out of tricks, but he's got one final force of Marauders and SCVs clashing into the Archon, Stalkers and Zealots of Hasrobs, who's warping in Dark Templars, High Templars, whatever kind of Templars you want, and the Psystorms will rain, as well as the force fields. TLO, can you do it? Will he be able to snipe this Nexus? If so, he might be able to take it for himself and throw himself back into this game.